How to create a Google search campaign the right way. In this video, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to create a search campaign from scratch without making all the classic money wasting mistakes. So you want to make sure you watch the entire video because there's a lot of sneaky settings that Google have embedded in their Google Ads system you got to watch out for. Don't forget, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up icon and subscribe, and let's go do this right now. So here we are in our live Google Ad account, and as mentioned, we're going to create our search campaign from scratch. For context, where we're sending the traffic to, and this will sort of be helpful in explaining how we create this campaign, we're going to be sending the traffic to this retargeting course or a retargeting challenge. So that teaches people how to create a retargeting campaign on Google and Facebook. So my intention with this search campaign is to get in front of people who are searching on Google for how to create a Google retargeting campaign or how to create a Facebook retargeting campaign to send the traffic to this page. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit this plus button icon here to create a campaign, and I'm going to select new campaign. It's going to ask me to choose my objective. Now, obviously my objective is to get sales of this course. However, if you choose one of these objectives, it's going to be a bit restrictive in terms of what bid strategy you could do and various other settings. So at this time of this video, I like to choose to create a campaign without a goal guidance because this will give me the full suite of settings which I want to kind of have available to me. And then I'm going to choose a search campaign. It's going to ask me which are the conversion goals for the campaign performance optimization. So that is a purchase goal. So I'm going to actually remove these goals from this campaign objective. And this obviously does not remove it from our conversion tracking. It just means I can set it up to optimize for a purchase. And then I click continue. And website visits, you don't actually really have to do this, but I will teachtraffic.com. And we're going to call it S for search, retargeting challenge. Obviously, you would call your campaign whatever is. I like to call it something where I know exactly what it is, and I often put the S just for search, so I know it's a search campaign. Okay, so as you can see here, we're going to be working our way through this setup process. So the bidding, you won't be able to do manual CPC from the outset. You can change it though once you have created your campaign. So I'm just going to leave this bid strategy as is. And I'm going to minimize that. I can also optimize to acquire for new customers. I'm just going to leave that unchecked for now as well. And I'm going to click next. This is one of the sneaky default settings here that you want to pay attention to. I want to deselect the display network because I do not want my ads to show on the display network. That's going to cause lots of impressions and clicks that I probably don't want. And I'm also going to deselect search partners because I only want ads on the search network. Okay, so you definitely want to deselect them. I'm also going to choose the location that I want to target. So I'm going to type in United States and I want to target that. Obviously, you would put in your location. You can put in multiple locations at a campaign level. Just be mindful that your budget is then going to be spread across multiple locations. And maybe, that might just sort of impact your results. It's also worth mentioning here that my location options, so the default setting here is people regularly in or who've shown interest in my target location. So I'm targeting United States, so this setting here of who've shown interest in is people who are outside of United States who've shown interest in maybe something in the United States. So I like to change it to as narrow as I can go for people in and regularly in my target location. So this will hopefully not include people who are outside of United States. So let's scroll down here. Language is English. I can add some audience segments to it, but that really means that So I can either set that to be observation or targeting, but that's probably the subject of a different video. It's going to ask me, do I want broad match keywords? At this point, I do not. So I want it to be off. So I'm going to leave that as is. And I also do not want automatically created assets. So I'm going to leave that off. I want to have the most amount of control at my fingertips. Then I click more settings, and that's the start date, add rotation. I want to do not optimize because I want to rotate my ads indefinitely. If you choose optimize, there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just going to mean that if you have more than one ad variation, then Google is going to choose a winner pretty quickly and only really show that one variation of ad. And maybe you want to actually do a proper split test, which is why I choose to rotate ads indefinitely, so that if I am split testing two ads, I want to ensure both ads get equal amount of impressions so I can properly split test. Okay. And I am happy with the rest of those settings, so I click next. And this is where I need to create my ad group and my keywords and my ad copy. Okay, so here I am just going to change my ad group name, and because I am going to be bidding on types of keywords related to Google retargeting, I'm going to call it Google retargeting. And then the keywords in this ad group will be related to how to create a retargeting campaign on Google. Now, Google have tried to give me some suggestions of keywords. I'm going to remove these because it's quite specific actually what I am doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Google retargeting campaign, and I'm going to say create Google retargeting and keywords around that. These are phrase match types, and so therefore there will be search term variation around these keywords. So I don't need to think of every possible variation of keyword because the phrase match will allow for search term variation. I have a separate video on the keyword match types. I'm happy to put a link in the description to show you that video. Definitely, if you're not sure what these match types are, you definitely want to watch that video because it makes a really big impact on how your ads will be shown based on these match types. Okay. So I'll just leave that for now. Obviously, you probably add more keywords than this, but for the purpose of this video, I just want to kind of show you how to create the campaign. Go down here, and this is where we're going to start writing our ad. So I'm just going to grab my challenge URL, and that is my final URL. So that is where the traffic is being sent to. And then this is the display path. So this is the URL that will be shown in the ad. And it's worth mentioning this URL doesn't actually have to be real. It doesn't have to exist. So I can do this. I can sort of use this as an opportunity to insert more keywords into my URL. So as you can see here, it's updated it here to retargeting and then /course. And so that way it's, I guess, an opportunity to kind of show your potential website visitors who click on your ad kind of what this URL would be. But as I said, this URL does not have to exist. This is the final URL, is the actual destination where people will go to. Now it's time to start creating my ads. And so I'm going to add in my headlines, which have a character limit of 30 characters. You do need a minimum of 3, but you can add up to 15 headlines. And also you need a minimum of 2 descriptions, which have a character limit of 90, but you can add up to 4. Okay, so I'm just going to fill in these headlines and the descriptions, and I'll just pause this video while I do that. So here I have put in a number of headlines. As I said, I'm not going to do the full 15, but here you can see I've put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so I've got, and Google will show any of these 3 possible headlines. You'll see here it shows me a preview of the what different variations my ad would look like, which is helpful. And you can actually, if you definitely want a specific headline in a specific ad position, either 1, 2, or 3. You can actually pin a headline. So you can click here and I can say that I only want to show this headline in position 1, and you'll see this turns blue, which means that this will be fixed. It will always be in headline 1 position. Okay, so I can do that. And then I've also put in 2 descriptions here. As mentioned, you could also put in 4, and Google will rotate between 2 different descriptions. I can also add an image extension if I want, and maybe I'll add my business name. So I can add in teach traffic, click apply, and that will add in my business name. I can also add in a business logo and various site links and call out. So all these are called, they used to be called ad extensions. Now they're ad assets. And yeah, they are in addition to your text ad, but we'll probably look to add them later. For the purpose of this video, we're just going to keep going. And that is one variation of ad that I have added to these keywords in this ad group. And then we can add another variation, or we can just keep going for the purpose of this video. Next, I want to set a budget for this campaign. So let's set it for $30 per day. Click next. So Google have said to me that there is an issue that the campaign, there's no traffic expected. To check my campaign targeting to fix this. So if I view this real quick, it is basically telling me to upgrade my keywords to broad match. No thanks, Google. I'm quite happy with phrase match, and to add more keywords, which yes, I could do. But yeah, for the purpose of this video, I'm just trying to show you how to create a campaign, but that's fine. And so we click next, and so that's fine. And then so here are the rest of my settings: maximize conversions, the goal is purchases, search network only, United States, and all this looks very good. 2 keywords, 1 ad, $30 a day. So then I click publish. And then as you can see here, my campaign has been published and it's going to be in review for probably about a day. And so there you have it. We have just created our campaign. Here is our campaign that we've just created. This is one of the ad groups. And then I can look to create another ad group targeting Facebook type keywords, because this course also teaches how to create a campaign on Facebook. So I would create a separate ad group for that, because I would want to write an ad that relates to Facebook, type headlines and descriptions, where I say, how to create a retargeting campaign on Facebook. So that is why I segment those different keywords into different ad groups, so I can write an ad that's really relevant for those keywords. One last thing I also might like to do is, as I mentioned earlier, is to go to the assets section and incorporate some ad assets, or what used to be known as ad extensions. And I've got some account level ad extensions that are added. And then I can look to create some campaign specific ad assets. So for example, I might look to add different site links, which are the links below that ad. I might look to add an image extension of possibly something related to my retargeting challenge. I can add my business logo, and I could possibly add a location extension. I'm probably not going to do that because it's an online course. And I can also have different structured snippets and call outs if I like to. But essentially, we are actually done creating our new search campaign. So there you have it. That's how easy it is to create a search campaign. If you like this video, don't forget, hit that thumbs icon and subscribe. And maybe you want to check out my website, teachtraffic.com, for all our training courses as well. Thanks for watching.